Welcome to the Teaching Bites podcast. Here are your hosts, Fred and Sharon Jaravada.
Hi, everyone. I'm Fred.
And I'm Sharon.
On this episode, it's a special episode. Sharon and I are going to speak of what we learned the past year. It was our first year, and we're going to share with you what we found out, all this process of podcasting and sharing with listeners like you. So let's get this started. So first of all, Happy New Year to all our listeners, and we really hope you will have a great, awesome 2016.
Yeah, we also want to share some goals that we're going to put forth for our new year. But first, let's talk about 2015. Well, you guys know, if you've been listening to us, we had 1 year anniversary of our podcast. So thank you. Really deeply appreciate your following and listening to us through the ups and downs. And it's been awesome sharing stories, ideas, and tips with you.
Yes, we learned a lot, and we definitely we're very appreciative of you taking the time of your day and listening to our thoughts and our insights and our ramblings and our corny jokes about our experience in the world of education.
Right.
All right. So, let's move on to what we learned. So, go ahead, Jen, start off.
All right. So within the year of podcasting, we really wanted to get out content more often. So now we learned we need to do more of it for 2016.
Consistency.
Yes,
That's also my goal, is to be consistent, right? We've been having we had some challenges with that last year.
Yeah. And, trying to find time to do it, and being present is very important to us. So we didn't want to just record an episode just to record one. We want to do good quality shows for you. But we understand that, some of you probably are like waiting for when's the next one coming out. And, I'm sorry we let you down, but we are going to try really hard to be consistent and share,
some great content,
tips,
great information.
Yeah, and provide more interviews for you.
And that's one of our biggest goals, is talk to other teachers, other experts out there. Here is that but we have connections with.
Yeah, so share stories about other educators' backgrounds and their journeys through education, whether they're in it or not, and ways to take care of yourself. Okay, but going back to what we've learned, we're trying to share more ideas through our Facebook page, and a really and
Facebook group.
Our group has been awesome.
It's an exclusive group.
Yeah, and those of you who've joined it, we've had a lot of great tips from you guys, and you guys just really, really are engaged, and it just really feels nice to see that you turn to this group to help.
All right, so if you don't know already, we have a private Facebook page on Facebook. You're welcome to join us. You need to request to join that page or that group. You can find us, just type in Teaching Bites Community on Facebook, and then you'll see us pop up and ask to be approved to join, and give us about 24 hours to get back to you, and we'll get you in there.
Right. I've also learned about how to use Pinterest. And before, my friends were like, "Oh, Pinterest is so cool," and I'm like, "Oh, it just seems so messy." And then when we started Teaching Bites, I knew that was a very important place to be, so I opened our Pinterest page, and I've been learning how to pin things and how to hashtag. So new to me, but I know it's so valuable. So it's been amazing to see the repins, the posts, and comments for that. Also, we in the summer, if you didn't know, we put out a big survey about what things you need. So out of that, we created a course called Google Apps for Education. So we learn how to made easy for you, and learn
GAFME. That's what it was called. Remember?
Yes, right? That's right. So I learned I used to learn how to do ScreenFlow. It was new to me, but it felt nice to share that with you, the basics. Okay. How about you, Fred? What did you learn about podcasting, all the little technical stuff I know you want to talk about?
Right. So quickly, I had to research this last year, and I was learning on the go. And I wanted to make sure that though we share good content, we want to make sure we share it with you the best way possible. And that includes using and researching and finding and purchasing and learning how to use the equipment. We use 2 ATR21 microphones. We also have a digital recorder from Roland. It's the RO5. And we're also using a mixer, and that really helps us in our delivery of a good sounding podcast. And I hope you really appreciate that, because we really do. We want to give you the best sounding experience. So yeah, after that, I became like an audio snob. So, but yeah, you can see there's a lot of technical aspects, but also a lot of these other skills that I've learned also, because once you record this, now I had to learn. I had to learn to use GarageBand and editing and processing the files that we use. We have a lot of bloopers, lots of B-roll, as they say. So I had to edit things down, making sure it flows well. So I learned GarageBand. I already knew how to use it, but not in audio sense, like in podcasting. Then I had to learn how to publish it. I had to learn how to use iTunes. There's a process that you have to send your iTunes RSS link to iTunes. They have
tagging it and linking.
Yeah, you have to use all the tagging, linking, and so on. Learning how to share the podcast once it's published on iTunes. I've learned how to get Google Play. We'll be on their directory real soon. We're on Stitcher. So the people, if you are not using the Apple Podcast app, there are other apps out there that we're on there. You can find us. But also how to advertise our podcast. I had to learn all this as well, because once you create something online on the internet, it's not enough to just let it sit there. You need to actually share it.
Yeah. And
if you want to get discovered, you have to advertise it. So I've learned how to use advertising on Facebook, on Twitter, and other teacher forums also. So I've learned a lot about podcasting and what it goes into, and it's an amazing experience. So I'm fairly confident now of what to do. Actually, I'm pretty confident of what to do and how to produce a podcast.
Right, and also, learning how to use Canva to do the cover art. That was a new thing for me too, and it's really fun. If you don't know what that is, it's it's your own presentation free software.
It's a graphic. You can make graphics. It's like Photoshop, where you add pictures together and words together. You can create memes and so on. But it's a very easy way to create any kind of graphic for your social media, for a PowerPoint presentation, for a cover for your Twitter or for your Facebook. It's an amazing service. It's free.
A lot of great templates.
Great. Now you do. It's free, though. There are pictures, and this is where there's their business model. And that there's some images, a lot of images, the nice ones at least. They charge $1, so it's very cool. You can also buy $10, I believe, and they give you 11 downloads.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So I think that's the model now. But yeah, so learning all the aspects of creating and producing a podcast. You can go simple, just getting a headphones and a mic and go directly to your computer, and that works too. If you are interested in doing that, you're definitely welcome to do that. Straight into your laptop, definitely could do that also. That works. Yeah,
actually I thought of, Fred. I also learned how to for us to figure out our division of roles.
And that's a big thing that we went through. One of the challenges that we
very big challenge. Like who's gonna process, who's gonna do the cover. More of the technical stuff of how to upload it to Libsyn, iTunes, and stuff.
Right, to the hosting and
So then I became the person that does the cover art and the show notes. So we kind of fell into those roles, but at first it was hard to define what we do and try to put it in a timely manner, right. And it did get frustrating.
It's I would say you would have to put for an episode of a podcast, probably for like a 20 or 30 minute podcast, it's about a couple hours to produce one, at least in the speed that we do it. We're not experts by any means, but we're learning. We're getting better and better.
Yeah.
So maybe about 2 hours an episode, right?
Yeah.
So that's why the consistency has been a challenge for us, because we have a young family. We do teach also.
full time,
and we get burnt out also. But we definitely are thinking about our podcast and you, the listener. And we got some plans for 2016 coming up. And we alluded to earlier about getting other teachers in our podcast, interview them and their expertise. I'm very excited to have a couple of teachers lined up in the next couple of weeks. And also we have one in the pipeline coming down on January 4th. That'll be an amazing
so
episode.
look out for that one. And then we hope these stories will give you some inspiration, spark some ideas, for wherever you are in your career.
And we want you to make connections. Whatever we're saying or what other teachers are saying on our podcast, we're hoping that, like Sharon said, it inspires something in you. It'll spark something in you that hopefully that we can help you connect some dots in your experience, in your lifetime, so you can become a better teacher. Are we amazing teachers, Sharon and I? Probably not, but we are trying every day. We're trying every day to be good teachers, at least. We're trying every day. And we just want to share our thoughts, and we want to deliver that to you, and hopefully it's cool.
Yeah, and it's really, we're hoping it's also heartwarming. A lot of times we don't really talk to each other as teachers and share stories. And, this might make you, one day you don't want to get out of bed. You're like, I don't want to go to work or something. But hopefully the story just goes, yeah.
Right.
Let's keep going.
Keep going.
You can do it.
We're not trying to be so, I'm going to probably mispronounce this, but pedagogically heavy. There are a lot of podcasts that actually do that. That's cool. But we want to keep it a little more raw and not as heavy.
Too theoretical.
Too deep.
We don't be real about things,
Yep. And I'm sure those other podcasts are being real also. But we're just sharing our perspective. And it's just us.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a short podcast, short episode for you guys, just to give you guys a heads up. We want to give you guys a thank you again for being a loyal listener. Please, what helps us is to have you share our podcast. Share the link to a fellow teacher, a fellow educator, an administrator. Share. Tell them to share. Download, and then the next step will be download and leave us a review. It helps us get discovered on iTunes, and that can only help us.
Yeah, it helps you ultimately.
Right. All right, folks.
So all the best in 2016. Look forward to an awesome year. Wish you the best, and see you later.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Teaching Bites podcast at www.teachingbites.com.